All right, welcome back to our final round here at Guardian Games for Modern Mondays. We are Portland Paper. I am Travis Cooper, hanging out with,
Urchin Collie. And
and
Ian Lunger.
oh, there we go. We're here to watch the final game here. It looks like our top table of the XOs took a intentional draw, and we always like showing you something with some marbles on the line. And it looks like we've got two artists here. Some 201s in Gabrielle Boyer and Greg Hag with the Battle of the Bants.
battle. All right, so Gabriel here, bringing a Bant Urza build. He's been experimenting. Definitely, I know him as a Bluetron player and a Urza player, so I'm interested in this. And Greg, I know for a while was playing Bant Stoneblade. Now on Bant Control. Unsure whether or not that involves Stoneforge Mystic,
Well,
but
I bet it has Icefang Coital and Veil of Summers on the sideboard.
oh, it's gotta.
So I'm curious if Icefang is like worth it for the splashing green for a control deck. If you're like, it's worth being blue-white when you splash for Oko. And I'm curious if just Icefang is good enough.
Um, I think it really depends on the role you want to play. I think Ice Fang's really good. I think it does incentivize heavy snow to get the death touch on. And what I don't like is pulling you is when your deck building pulls you towards Astrolabe for no other reason. Um, so that makes me a little nervous about Ice Fang. But I think if you're reliably turning on the death touch, the card is nuts. I mean, asking do you want to play Flash Barrel for Strix in a control deck is like a weird question.
Yeah, because I mean, Baleful Strix is just such a staple in Grixis control in Legacy because it's basically a removal that draws you a card most of the time, or draws, makes your opponent discard a card.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's interesting to see in Legacy some people were switching from Strix to Codal because of, the death touch and draw a card flash aspect.
Yeah. It's even better when it's instant speed. Okay, I'm gonna
And
fetch up a snow-covered island, draw a card off an Astrolabe. Mishra's Bauble pass the turn. I'm excited. We get to see some post-apocalypse Urza.
so if we're doing a Battle of the Bants, I would say the Urza version is going to be more on of the like heavy metal side, and the control version we're probably thinking like Yacht Rock or something. Maybe what would you say the control version? Like
Or
what
just
what?
proggy. Something like
Oh, okay,
12-minute epic.
okay. So yeah, so Teferi and Jace are like in something like late '80s prog rock. Like yes, after its heyday.
Oh, let's go earlier, maybe like Floyd.
Okay.
Way far back. Way far back. Just slowly builds over the course of the game. Nothing really dramatic happening. Land drop after land drop. Snow-covered plains join snow-covered island, makes Stoneforge Mystic. So we are on a Stoneblade
So like Bant Stoneblade.
build. Yeah. Greg called it control. He thinks of it as control. I would believe him. I remember having a 50-minute game one with him once. He definitely plays it in a controlling style.
I mean, Stoneforge is sort of just a card advantage engine if you look at it that is pretty good anti-aggro tech.
Absolutely.
I think the downside of playing something like Bant is you're not able to really turn on Mystic Sanctuary that easily.
The colors are definitely pushed. In some sense, Astrolabe becomes good on that front, but your colors wouldn't necessarily be as pushed if you weren't doing snow stuff in the first place. Um, yeah, I think Sanctuary, you know, having played Sanctuary decks with snow lands in them, you're definitely already stuck with a tension there. Supporting both is not easy. When you are then trying to support three colors, it becomes even more difficult. When I was playing the Urza mid-range deck that supported Snow and Sanctuary, but you had one off-color shock in each color because your other colors were so light. I guess I had one basic and green because there wasn't a bunch of green, but all the black was sideboard, so you get away with it very light, and that was tight enough. Supporting 3 full colors, actually kind of a big ask. So we're going to see Teferi Time Raveler come down here and just uptick, get a little extra loyalty buffer.
Yeah, when you're
And
playing a control deck against the Teferi, it just sucks.
Yep.
uh,
Just have that card stick, you probably get to win the game. And this is one of my things where I want to try to build without Stoneforge Mystic is it's a tap down card, and it's really powerful, and you get incredible value. But it's also a tap down card, and I wonder if you can do without.
I think if I'm going to play something like that, I definitely want to be playing for Force Subjugations. But then it's awkward because Stoneforge is white and doesn't pitch to Force. So.
Yep. So
wait, does Mystic Sanctuary,
He has
doesn't
no-
that come into play tapped? 'Cause we only
no,
have
the
2
other Mystic
islands?
Sanctuary is an island.
Oh, it is an island.
How
Okay,
else
thank
could you get it with a fetch land?
Yeah. Shh. Thanks.
Such a good choice. Oh, I'm more making fun of the card designers. I'm sorry, Ian. Gabriel gonna put Urza into play here. He's got a construct token. He's got a Teferi uptick, an engineered explosives on 0. Just here's a mock sapphire. He's got it all.
I missed what we fetched off Stoneforge. Was it Batterskull?
It was Batterskull.
Seems like the level 0 choice there.
Think I might have been in for a pro blue sword though. Here he is. Comes with free disease. Oh, never mind. We are going to bounce the disease. You have been cleansed. Nice Batterskull. That was a cryptic bounce draw, getting rid of the germ. Gonna need another land before we can actually equip that thing the hard way. Greg has all his colors. Having a think though. Would be a nice time for a Path to Exile.
I feel like we might bounce Teferi and draw a card. Or, nope, we're gonna
Supreme Verdict. That's one way to remove an Urza. Nowhere to put the Batterskull, but you know what? I think it's more important to get rid of that Urza, especially when you are severely pinned down by that Teferi Time Raveler.
Ooh, alright.
Ooh,
Bouncing the Astrolabe, getting some value.
Let's get greedy. I mean, it's not that greedy. He's facing down nothing. If you just upticked it for the rest of the game and had it sit there being an enchantment, it would be still great. But we're going to bounce Astrolabe, replay it. That's 2 cards for 1 snow mana. Here's another Astrolabe, another card. Have you found your hopes and dreams yet off the top of your library, Gabe? And by that I mean another Urza. Maybe I'm projecting. Here's an Emery gonna mill for. So now we can start looping the baubles. Ah. So, I've always had struggles with Emery in relatively artifact light decks, and what we've seen so far are Astrolabes, Baubles, Explosives. So that's, probably 12, assuming for engineered explosives. Usually the packages had slimmed down to 15, 16, which, was that plus 4 mocks and either 3 or 4 explosives. But if we're just straight missing the moxes, that's really artifact light for both Emery and Urza. So I have to wonder if there's some other support there. We still have Geese, it looks like, for food.
There was a Mox Amber on the bottom of the deck there.
There's at least 1 Amber. Ambers and multiples get a little sad, but it does make Urza look a lot more fair and Emery look a lot less playable, which is a shame because I love the art, I love the design. I think the card, I could go on and on. I love the card, and I don't think she's terribly good.
It seems like in the matchups we saw, we basically, when Emery wasn't removed, it was like draw an extra card every turn and it cost 1 mana to deploy, which seemed really strong.
Oh, sure. It's really high ceiling, but the way that you change your deck building and change your play patterns to work around it can be very high investment. So while high ceiling, it sort of can be very high floor. Um,
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, but it seems like
or low
if there
floor.
is an Urza deck that exists, it would have Emery in it, right? Like because at that point the cost to adding in Emery isn't like it's pretty low.
I think it's the most likely place you'd see it. I don't know if you necessarily have to play it or that you have to play 4.
Hmm.
Detention sphere on your batter skull.
Aw.
You will not be putting that on your snack, sir. It's a good place for it. In exile. Uptick to fairy.
It's kind of a bit of a punishment for running out the snake main phase there.
When else was he going to run out the snake?
Oh, yes. All right. I'm done talking for the
Oh,
evening.
Ian. I'm sorry.
Static effects on planeswalkers. Wow, wow.
Snake attacks Teferi, takes down 1 loyalty. They may be locked in eternal combat. Okay.
Oh, this is awkward.
Here's another
You
Teferi.
definitely don't want to bounce the detention sphere. That's the thing you don't want to do.
Yep. Gonna bounce his own Astrolabe, replay Astrolabe. Everyone play that game now. Now if you're Gabe, do you bounce your own detention sphere? Not with 3 loyalty counters.
I think there's a backup to Fairy in Gabe's hand, though.
There is. Oh, this is so ridiculous. This is 2 counterspell decks that can't play instants. This has become...
Yeah, I would say this is pretty dumb. This is as a person that plays Teferi, because you kind of have to. It's just like used to like control decks are really interesting because like when you decide to go for something like how you play on the stack with counter spells. But I feel like when both control decks have Teferi and they're both in play, this is what happens.
Snake locked in eternal combat with Time Mage. Teferi takes up. Snake takes bite.
Oh, what did Teferi do? It went up.
Roll it up. Take a bite. Would you just blow up an engineered explosives on 2 for a contaminated for a coatl that was replaced by another coatl? Oh,
Ooh,
max
this
punish.
could be a kind of turning point here if Greg is able to untap with like a sword.
Yeah, he's got to have a Sword of Fire and Ice in here.
Feast and Famine is what I'm thinking.
Feast and Famine. Why are you... oh, I guess you're now killing the Teferi. You wouldn't Fire and Ice?
Fire and Ice usually isn't in the main deck. Very, like, rarely is it sometimes, but it's usually a sideboard, if at all, card. Just the Feast and Famine, especially in the more control-oriented ones, the untapping your lands is pretty huge.
I needed the reminder that this was game 1. Also, did you just notice the steam vents pop up?
I think that the Teferi already ticked up. It should be
Whoa.
2, not 3.
Can we talk about the steam vents?
Also,
Yeah.
can Gabe bounce the D-sphere now to get rid of the batter skull? Is that an available line?
Bounce the which what?
The detention sphere.
You ticked up your Teferi 2 times in 1 turn. Cool.
I think he now can.
Now that, because Teferi made it to 4 loyalties, so we could
Yeah, he
bounce the
can do it.
D-sphere, which gets rid of the batter skull forever,
Yep.
and then redeploy the D-sphere to get rid of the Teferi on Greg's side.
We can slug through this. Though I am still worried because the sword comes down and equips next turn. Jesse got wrecked by Light and Shadow. You know, so have I.
I think your line was better than what's happening right now, Ian. But that, bouncing explosives is a thing one can do.
Well, this also does things. This is a thing. I actually don't hate this. If you can sweep up all his creatures, it gives you just another... well, now we're back on the slow up roll. And Greg still can't bounce the D-sphere. We're going to get rid of all that. I might have maybe held out with that for a little bit longer, but who's to say? You can, in fact, activate engineered explosives at instant speed.
I think this might be a one-game match.
Hi, Sven Kodal. Big threats.
Do you think it's like the darkest timeline if Mox Amber ever makes it to $100?
How much is Mox Amber?
20 some. 20? It's about 20. Unless it's been going up again. It was at 30. It went down because people realized it was trash. Mox Opal got banned. People forgot it was trash.
I'm not sure I like deploying the Fire and Ice here because well, yeah, it just opens you up to the bounce detention sphere lines, whether that's with Cryptic or another Teferi.
22. People remembered it was trash again. Sort of Light and Shadow, known for the traditional block and snap line.
I haven't seen Light and Shadow in a while.
Or Light and Shadow is what I
I
meant.
used to play Light and Shadow in Tax's builds.
How many people can play that?
Today
It's
we
a little
had,
light.
I think 36 at the beginning.
Yeah, it was a little light today. We had 36.
It was kind of atrociously gross outside.
It's been atrociously gross outside for like 2 weeks.
I don't know if you can hear the gray in our voices, but yes, the gray Portland sky has gotten all of us.
Someone today reminded me that UV lights exist, and I need to start setting reminders on my phone to put on a UV light because I've literally forgotten what the sun looks like at this point.
Yeah, I got a physical like a month ago, and my doctor was like, "Oh, the things, because we live in Portland, I'm supposed to actually remind you that you should be taking vitamin D supplements because we don't get enough sunlight here for what is considered
Snake takes
healthy."
down Teferi.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Teferi can now bounce D-Sphere, get better skull. Shotgun to Temple Garden. What do we got? What do we got?
Jace, nothing. Can't cast Cryptic Command. I don't think there's enough blue.
Here's another one.
Counter it.
Now's your chance before those cards go blank again.
Yeah, otherwise they're out of here. I guess
Mana.
Remand.
Leak.
It's your
That's Mana
cards.
Leak.
Oh.
That's Mana Leak. No one's playing Remand.
Don't get excited yet.
I should really take it as more of a signal when I'm like,
Uh-oh.
no one's playing this card. I should play this card. That I should read that the other way. Mox Amber back online.
So you have the line of bouncing detention sphere again, and then
We
detention sphere.
didn't take it.
I don't think Gabriel has seen this.
We should do it. I'm a fan.
Didn't Greg have an opportunity to bounce the D-Sphere as well? I guess that's not necessarily better. To get your Batter Skull back and get a Germ. Not really.
You know what card I don't like in Modern at all is Mana Leak.
It's good right now.
Do you like it?
Better than I have in the past.
I don't play it in any of my control decks. I really like Force Mitigation. I really like Cryptic, and I'm into the 1-mana counters like Spell Snare. But Mana Leak just sometimes, like a lot of times, I find like late game it just loses so much value.
I think it's good right now. I think there are a lot of creature threats that make Force of Negation not something you want in huge numbers in the main deck. I agree with you on 1-mana counter spells. I think people should play more narrow 1-mana counter spells and then Terralayer them in post-board games. But I actually don't. I actually like Mana Leak. I don't think you want to run more than like 2, but
Singapore sounds wonderful.
we had a half day where it didn't rain. I was like, I'm going to go hiking. I'm so smart. I'm a genius. Turns out everyone's a genius. There were a lot of people there. I got an extra hike because I couldn't park anywhere close. It's great. But now it's raining again. Gilded Goose.
Oh.
This is a spectacular mishmash of modern cards. Gabe told me it was a pile. This is great. I'm enjoying it. This is a lot of card quality. Oh, God. Games involving Gilded Goose that don't involve a lot of pressure. I'm just going to say it right now. You know how much damage that snake does? 3. How much life of food gains?
I recently played a game in Modern where I was playing against. I was playing Jeskai Control. My opponent was playing Niv-Mizzet, and he had two geese out, and he'd made over 30 food. And we eventually just decided that we wouldn't keep track of food anymore, our life totals, for him, because it was irrelevant if he was going to lose a game. That's not how he was going to lose. And we just saved time, assuming that he was making like 1 million food and had 1 million life.
You let him buy a pass to the all-you-can-eat buffet?
Yes.
You like that food token? I think my favorite food token is sad pie. I'm all about the sad pie. Uro!
Whoa.
Uro! Growth spiral,
Wow.
gain 3. Draw a card, put a land into play.
Okay, I guess that's a reason to play, Bant.
Yeah, a skip. I think I was literally asking someone earlier, why would you play Bant? And they told me this exact thing. And then I completely forgot. And I'm like, I can't imagine why you would play Bant. This would be why. Uro!
Oh, that's a way to win a game.
Yes. Growth spiral twice, gain 6, put a 6/6 into play.
And I don't even know why we're calling it Bant. It's not Bant anymore. It's become 4-color.
What's the steam vents for?
Everyone wants to know.
Do you have the sideboard? You took pictures?
No, I fricked
yeah.
it, screwed it up. I don't even have an answer. Watch, it's Blood Moon. I swear to God, it's Blood Moon. Calling it now. He won't board it in here. I'll go ask for their sideboards between games because I swear to fuck it's Blood Moon.
Well, it looks like we might actually get 2 games. I thought we were just going to win.
Uro gonna close it out, I think. Uro, no. Put a sort of feast and famine on it. The goose can't block. Oh, no. Oh. And the grind goes on. We're going to need another Teferi to back that up or it's going to get bounced and we're just going to growth spiral escape again. Oh, no, we're just going to take the Teferi. We have a plan for the Titan.
Like maybe a Path to Exile?
Would be a great place to send that Uro straight to exile. But no, he's going to stick around for another turn.
Wow, I've never seen an Uro attack. This is exciting.
Well, get ready, Travis.
I'm putting the seatbelts on.
Jace. There's a Jace in this place. There's no Jace in this place. Blood Moon. No. Cryptic. Cryptic. Gonna fetch in response. Force of negation. Look at this stack. Stack them high.
Did we not find land?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I think we probably had the counter spell
no.
but didn't find land.
It's almost like those lands got milled with Emery. Oh no.
You're hating on Emery pretty hard.
I know. I have the playmat. I have a foil playset, and I think that the card shouldn't be played. I'm gonna go check in on their sideboards that I failed to take pictures of.
Speaking of slow games, chat, I recently won a game by milling my opponent because I Mystic Sanctuary Cryptic looped myself, so I wouldn't have to draw cards.
It's like almost as bad as the big Teferi lock that was available in Standard for a while.
Yeah, it's basically simple your own Teferi lock.
So I didn't take exact notes here, But I just wanted to say I was totally right. It's totally Blood
Are
Moon.
you serious?
I'm completely serious. There are 3 copies of Blood Moon and no other red cards on it.
Yeah, because that card's a house against Amulet Titan.
That's
Yeah.
a fact.
I tell you that much.
That's a fact. All right, and also, everybody's packing Veil of Summer. There's not a lot that's incredibly surprising. You know, Gabe has his brain in some great places. I didn't ask why, and I don't know why, but there's one Pentad Prism in his sideboard. I don't know if that's like a... I didn't have 15 sideboard cards and I cut this from my main deck at the last minute. Maybe I missaw it. Maybe he can tell me later that I saw the wrong card, but... There were other cards in the sideboard. I didn't take careful note. Sorry, we're not going to have the most... See it? It's right there. You see it? There's an Everflowing Chalice, an Ether Spellbomb, a Pentad Prism. I think Gabe maybe just had a 75 card main deck and made some cuts at the last minute. But also 3 Veil of Summer because that's intelligent. There's another goose in there. What's going on? Veil, Pithing Needle, Metallic Rebuke, and Snake coming in.
Are we bringing in the Blood Moon for Greg?
No. No. And then there's Ashiok and Ether Spellbomb under consideration. We were boarding out those geese. I wouldn't board out geese here.
Ashiok seems actually fine against the
Stoneforge Mystic deck? Yeah, I like Ashiok.
Especially if you can like turn 2 Ashiok and effectively Stone Rain your opponent. That's not bad.
Can also help you keep the Uro under control and or get rid of the graveyard, which is a useful spot.
Good point. I like Ashiok. I'm all for it.
Is Uro ever under control? It seems like Uro is just like out of control, right?
He can be sent to exile, then he's completely...
You got a bunch of chains. I guess they're all broken though.
Are they? Do people call them Titans even though they're giants?
They're Titans because they have ETB and attack triggers.
Yeah, and
Primeval Titan's a
Primeval
giant.
Titan is also yes.
Sorry. Didn't mean to step all out of step on you, Ian.
It's too fast.
No, just because I remember like Amulet opponents are new to the deck playing like Cavern on Titan and then countering their Titans because they're giants.
Thanks for
sense.
stopping in, always watching.
Have a good night. And also, yeah, sorry, Ian, you would know what to name with a Cavern and an Amulet deck, so.
Oh, well, maybe now's a good time to do we could do a mini plug, perhaps. We are Portland Paper. We've been doing this. It's wild for over a year. We stream live Paper Modern every Mondays, and in the springtime, summertime, we might do some other special events. We're trying to get some more streams going on right now, but yeah, we appreciate everyone hanging out in chat and all sorts of, like if you follow us or subscribe, it helps us do things like get a booth camera, which we just recently got, and so you can like see that we're real people. And also just cables wear out, stuff like that. We don't get paid for this. We do this because we love you all and like Magic and like Paper Magic. So yeah, thanks for the support, everybody. And
Ian, if there's enough subscribers, can we please have a karaoke night for them?
yeah, should we have like if we hit an X number of monthly subscribers, we live stream a karaoke night? And if so, what number should that be?
Ian promised.
Yeah, it's a promise for anybody that's in Portland or wants to travel to Portland. If we can hit 100 subscribers, we will do karaoke night.
Oh, that's a little ambitious. Let's say 50.
Whoa. Fine.
50 subscribers in a month? That's pretty good. Like 100.
All right. I'm willing to take it down to 50 just for you, Travis.
Thanks.
All I'm saying,
You can do the other 50 as gift subscribes from yourself.
all I'm saying is Ian promised there could be karaoke night if there are enough subscriptions. I'm just gonna leave that out there.
How many are we at? I think we're probably at 20-ish, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Here we go. Big game 2.
Watch there be some like very affluent person that's watching that then just like that's a good idea. Start at 50, the next goal is 100.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how we top like live stream karaoke, and I'm really bad at singing.
Oh, we
Like,
never
it's
promised
painful.
anything of quality. We just promised live stream karaoke.
Yeah, I feel like if we actually hit a goal, maybe we could do a tournament as the next goal and have some like prize
That'd be
pool
sweet.
going on.
All right, Gabe led Misty Rainforest, Mishra's Bauble. Gonna crack that Misty End Step. Greg led Snow Covered Island, Arkham's Astrolabe. Karaoke tournament, competitive karaoke. I'm gonna take you guys down. Oh no, wait, I lose to Ian.
I think we would probably both would lose to Ian.
We'll both lose
pretty
to
hard.
Ian.
Or maybe Ian's partner is I assume pretty good at karaoke as well.
Emery,
See how good this Emery is. Look at all his
Queller, Detention
baubles.
Sphere.
1 mana,
Oh,
draw a card
EE.
every turn.
We got EE.
Looks
Do you think Emery and Bobble have some sort of like magnetism in people's opening hands? I swear there's always like 2 Bobbles and an Emery just hanging out together.
Maybe that's why I didn't like the card. Didn't work for me. And Emery eats Path to Exile. So, let us notice. Emery has eaten a Path to Exile. We have thrown away an Engineered Explosives, a Spell Queller, and a Damping Sphere, and wasted turn 2.
for Greg or for
For game.
I sort of view that as like Gabe cast a 1 mana like ramp myself spell, and my opponent didn't play a Stoneforge because they were afraid of me drawing extra cards.
I'm for the record, I'm on Travis's side here.
Like that felt pretty. I don't know. It feels like Greg's on the back foot after that, especially in control mirrors. Like ramping your opponent with the path on turn 2 is.
I'll allow that, but look at... I mean, Gabe is... He's got another Emery here. But he's going to play the Teferi. It's going to take longer for that Emery to get active.
Ooh, are we gonna get a mystical dispute here?
Believe this is going to be disputed. Here's a Hallowed Fountain. Gonna shock that in.
This card has pretty sweet art. I'm a fan of this card's art.
The Arguing Selkie. Or Merfolk. I guess it's Merfolk. I don't know why I think it's a Selkie.
Seems like he was maybe late for a date, and they're not very happy about it.
Yeah, she sings, "Shut up."
Don't want to hear your excuses.
That hair though. I want that hair.
Aha.
Oh god. Here's the other Teferi. Are we having fun yet? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and bobble at end step. Untap. Draw once. Draw twice. Picked up an Ice Fang Coatl, another land. There's an Emery in hand. What else do we have? We're gonna see a hard cast Emery. And by hard cast, I mean for the converted mana cost printed on the card. Now we've got things to do. Polluted Delta. This is what we've got going on.
Well,
I guess, in the face of a Teferi, it's better that you have an Emery than that you have an instant.
Emery also interacts pretty well, I think, with Mystic Sanctuary. That's kind of a cool little...
It does and it doesn't. Like, it can set up Sanctuary targets, though I'll note that it seems like Gabe doesn't have a ton of them to mill over. So it can set up your Mystic Sanctuary targets. And that's reasonably good. It's just, in this particular build, it doesn't look like we've seen a lot. Greg has a Stoneforge Mystic. He's going to go get a Better Skull. Just start punching.
Feels like this game basically came down to who was able to resolve a Teferi
Yes.
first, and Greg won.
That
And
card is really... I don't have more to say about Teferi.
I feel like it kind of, because Oko was just so annoying to people and felt kind of unbeatable, that Teferi kind of like fell to the background a little bit. But now that Oko's gone, folks are realizing how annoying like the static effect on Teferi is.
More remembering than realizing, but yeah, it's just really dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, at least you could attack it with Elkin, Elksums.
It's true. I think Teferi does have more lines of play, because a lot of times you do really need to get rid of an opposing permanent, but then you open it up to attack from like just 1 point of power or a burn spell. It is easier to deal with, but it is pretty disheartening effect if it's on the battlefield for a couple turns and your control opponent has mana open.
Its disruptive effect is a -3, not a +1. Let's not even... I don't even need to talk about Oko anymore. Gone from existence.
If Greg can just keep bouncing this Emery, then maybe, got a much greater chance of being able to mill Gabriel out.
Yes. His disruptive ability is static. That's true. I think I more meant the bounce, but so bad. Teferi rolls up.
Can you see how we got draws with these decks? Boy, I can't see.
Oh, sorry, guys. All right. We got to get some energy into this last round. We always bring you the top table that does not draw. These are our contesting champions in the last round, but you got to get the energy up because this...
I feel like it might be my fault a little bit. I haven't had coffee in 2 days, and I'm like an everyday coffee person, but I've been a little bit under the weather, and I had a migraine today. So, some low energy in the booth right now.
I think I had your share of coffee today. I usually have one French press full of coffee during like my morning at work and probably some other coffee in the evening, but I had 2 French presses of coffee today.
We've changed our deck location for Gabe over here. The graveyard got too large.
Yep. It got overcrowded. Batter Skull. Make a 4/4 lifelink vigilance. Germ.
This Ice Fang's gonna be able to block it with Death Touch.
How many amulets running around? I know at least 2 amulet decks tonight. I'm not sure if there were more. It's fairly popular. There's a fair amount of control, actually. Saw Azorius Stoneblade. I know someone else who's playing blue-white. I know there was another Urza deck that we saw in an early round, so like...
There's a couple Jund decks out there, too.
There are at least 5 blue control decks. Oh! We do not go to time. Greg takes it down 2-0 here in our last round. That's it.
That's it?
Greg with the 301. That's our final
Greg
round.
had 2 batter skulls. 2 batter skulls.
2.
That's so many.
1, not enough. Needs more skulls.
So much batter skulls.
We've gotten so loose because of this control mirror. Oh my god, chat. Thank you so much for hanging out. I don't know what we would do without you. What does he win? Store credit. They do win store credit.
And you know what you can buy with your store credit?
Batter skulls?
Batter skulls are beer.
Batter skulls and beer. You can also buy beer.
Or germ
Travis
tokens.
never buys beer.
No.
In the booth.
Never.
Cool. On that note, thanks everyone for hanging out with us tonight. And as always, we'll be here every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until then, I hope you have fun exploring this new modern landscape. Do you want to do your Twitter?
My little self-plug? I will plug myself. You can follow me on Twitter at no. I tweet a lot there, and I also write for Hipsters of the Coast. And I will always tweet out when I'm going to be on Portland Paper, and I'll tweet out when I've got articles up on Hipsters. So just follow me on Twitter, and you can connect all the other things. But yeah,
right.
We need to pack up and get out of the shop because it's a Monday night. And thank you for hanging out. It's really good to see you all.
Have a good evening.